Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can hear.
Okay.
We just put it on mute. That's all. As a matter of
Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Madhuparna, Director, Indian Chamber of Commerce. Good afternoon, Mr. Garg.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I am fine, sir.
Good. So you are able to get my video and all that?
Yeah, sir.
Good,
Sir,
good.
it's all clear.
So I
Uh,
can see Mr. Jayant Rao and Mr. Malkani, Mr. Ritesh,
yes, sir.
Rajwa. Okay, well, it's nice to see all of you. Good
Thank
afternoon,
you, sir.
everyone.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Uh, I welcome also Mr. Jayanta Roy Chaudhary, Deputy Director General from Bureau of Indian Standards. Welcome you, sir. Today's webinar on opportunities for Make in India series in LED lighting post COVID-19. We are waiting for Mr. Saurabh Gaur, but the minister has called a meeting, so he had to rush there. So in his place, Mr. Devnath, the investment head, is joining this webinar. I think we should start this session. By that time, they would be joining.
Mhm.
Okay. So I would ask Mr. Bishwajit Rajware to, if you could kindly uh, start the program and start the comparing. And sir is with us, and also Mr. Jayanta Roy Chaudhary is with us. So
Yes.
let's start the session, wasting any more time. And Mr. Devnath would be joining any moment. Okay, sir.
All
Thank
right. Thank you so much for
you.
this. Thank you, ICC, for arranging this event. And it's a fantastic day for us today because an industry has made a call, and not one but three key policymakers have responded to this call, and that's an amazing feeling for us. Gives us a lot of confidence. So we are discussing opportunities. We will also be discussing a few problems on the way. But before that, we would like to hear from the policymakers what is their vision for the industry and what guidance they want to give us. And then we will of course trouble you a little with some of our problems, and also we will give you some solutions on which we feel could be workable ones. So with that, I would like to invite Mr. Sudhir Garg to come and address us, give us a few words, help us along, give us some vision on what he thinks about this industry. Over to you, Mr. Garg.
Sir, you are on mute. Sir, if you could kindly unmute yourself.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, sir.
That's okay. So good afternoon to everybody. And I would like to congratulate all the team of ICC for taking up this very important area. And I would also like to thank the industry for helping the members of your team by providing various kind of assistance and allowing them to continue their rozgar and their livelihood. Well, I understand that COVID-19 has created a disruption in our routine working methods. The industry has been largely dependent upon imports. So a lot of challenges have now been thrown in front of the industry to remain sustainable, to remain competitive, and to keep growing. With that kind of challenge, a few of the points which were raised to me and which I was going through. So I have few suggestions. Traditionally, this industry, and particularly many such industries in India, are not innovating so much. We are importing technologies, and we are also importing various kind of components as well. And we were basically an assembler here. So I think there's a need to change that culture. This is an opportunity given by under the address of Honorable PM under the Atmanirbhar Abhiyan. So we have to now take benefit under this Abhiyan, and I'll call upon the industry to take this challenge and convert itself from the import oriented to an export oriented industry. So I understand a lot of things will be required to be done in that process. And first of the foremost thing is to join hands, which I think you already started by starting this platform. So once we join hands and we commit to ourselves that we have to bring in a change, yes, then we can do it. And I will now talk that what are the various schemes of the government which you can immediately take benefit of. So one of the programs which Government of India has launched is setting up of technology centers across the country. 9,000 crore worth this scheme is going on. And under that, some 2 or 3 facilities will be purely for electronics industry, one in Noida, one in Pondicherry, one in Bangalore. So at least 3 I remember, and 4, some more will come in due course of time, which can be electronics centric. So these facilities will have high-end machineries. And I know that a lot of things which you are now importing, you can request that what kind of facility you want. Then we can set up those facilities in these technology centers that so that your import requirement can be met by manufacturing those components within the country. Everything may not happen on the day one, but when we start working, we'll be able to take some steps initially, step by step. I believe we'll be able to work it out. The team from BIS is also available. The standards is another big area. So once we are able to do the standards and do some steps on which we can do the manufacturing within the country. Now, second scheme which is available in the ministry is called MSECDP. So under this scheme, the Government of India provide funding up to 15 crore rupee for a project cost of around 20 crore rupee, in which industry can specifically manufacture few of the items. Please understand me that if there's a value chain and you are, let's say, producing 10 items. So if you require, let's say, 10 items, and out of these 10, you are already producing, let's say, 4. And for 6, out of these 6, you might be importing 3. For 3, if you want to manufacture within the country, then we can provide this kind of assistance in which minimum of around 10 to 20 industry will have to join hands, and then this kind of investment can be made. So in the specific areas for the LED industry, you can ask for that, you can create some projects under the MSECDP scheme. Thirdly, I know that MeitY also provide subsidy up to 30% for electronics-based industries. So the size, project size is not an issue. So the industries can project what is the total requirement. So based on the total requirement, 1 or 2 large industry can come up to set up such plants. I know 1 gigawatt plant in the solar field has already come up. Similar more plants can come in that side. So these are the few of the schemes. And I would like to especially emphasize that for this particular industry, which has made a lot of changes in the last few years in the energy efficiency side, we can provide specific investment, even larger one. So money may not be an issue if the industry say that for making things happen within the country, we want these kind of facilities. We probably will be ready to talk on that, and we'll be ready to make some investment also on that. Now this is also an opportunity for us to really work on building brands and scaling up things. LED is not that one stage has been done and that is the final stage. Continuous improvement in the LED industry is happening. Continuous technology and innovation is happening, and the Lumen per watt is keep on improving. So we have to think a slightly step ahead, and for that step ahead, we have to think of doing the manufacturing. Now in the LED, there's another big challenge is the quality. The electronic chokes that you call, the electronic chokes is a big issue. Quality is a big issue there. So I think this is the time for the industry to think that how do we ensure good quality product only. And I request BIS also to put right specifications so that we are able to make sure that only quality product happens, because there's a lot of failures also happening there. Another thing that we can do is that a lot of our laboratories under the CSIR flagship programs they are doing a lot of work in the electronic sector. So we can connect you with these laboratories as well. And for your specific problem, we can create solutions as well. So industry and laboratory can join together. And third thing is that I think this is the culture of, or this is the era of startups. So in the startup era, we also have to take right on the startup eras. What are the new startups happening in this direction, in the lighting direction? So we have to take that benefit as well. I believe the LED and LED services can also provide some sort of internet connectivity. So I don't know what stage this technology is, but this is another area where we can really think of taking lead. Then we are coming up with a scheme called Fund of Funds, where we will be providing the investment in the equity in the industries. So that is another area that you can really take benefit of this scheme. The Ministry of MSME has recently launched a platform called champions.gov.in. So this is a very interactive platform in which you can raise your problems, you can register your suggestions as well, and this provides a platform in which both of us can talk on a continuous basis to work out solutions to the problems of the industry, and also look for, and also take few of the challenges to the R&D institutions. So with that, I will be ready to interact more with the industry and look forward to listen to your problems and then work out how do we create a solution for that. So thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity, and looking forward to keep working with you. Thank you.
Sir, you've opened the innings with a sixer. So I don't know whether we need to continue this discussion too much in terms of the opportunity you are giving us is fantastic. It's amazing. One question I can ask you here is, you mentioned about champions.gov.in.
Yeah.
So would that be the single point of contact for us to interact with your team to get benefits and information on all the other schemes which you are launching? So should we focus on champions.gov.in as a single channel for communication? Sir, you're on mute, sir. So your mic is gone on mute. I'm sorry.
So it provides all the schemes of the Government of India, all the details on the schemes of the Ministry of MSME, startup, everything. And whatever you provide suggestions, you will be immediately contacted. Countrywide, we have created around 60 control centers. 60 control centers we have created, and they're working around 8 to 10 hours per day. So all the problems can be centralized, handled there. And specifically, still we are open. My mail ID is available, and we can even contact on that.
Absolutely amazing. So thank you very much for this very, very heartening opening remarks. With this, I would like to move over to BIS and Mr. Roy Chaudhary to address this, because that's something I think BIS set the norm for standardizing the industry, which was not there before. We have benefited a lot, but also, as everyone knows, there are also some unintended consequences. So we would like to hear more from Mr. Roy Chaudhary on his vision on how he sees this industry going forward. Over to you, sir.
In the meantime, let me welcome Mr. Avik Devnath from MIT, the head of investment. Welcome you, sir. Today's webinar. I am Madhuparna from Director, Indian Chamber of Commerce, and other managing committee LACMA representatives are there. Okay, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure being here. I'm sorry that Joint Secretary Meeti Shri Saurabh Gaur had to rush to a meeting, an urgent meeting, and that's why he couldn't attend. So that's why he asked me to attend. So I would be happy to convey any questions which you have to him, for him.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Mr. Roy Chaudhary, please, sir.
Thank you very much. And at the outset, I would like to thank Indian Chamber of Commerce for giving BIS this opportunity to be present in today's forum here, to listen to your concerns and your needs because primarily as a standards bodies, as a standard body, it is our objective is to understand what are the requirements and the needs of the market. And when I say of market, I also mean the industry on one hand, as well as the consumers or the users of products and services on the other. So I thank you for giving this opportunity to understand such needs and to take things forward from there. A very good afternoon to Mr. Garg and Mr. Avik Devnath. I think Mr. Garg had very rightly set the tone of the discussions. He had highlighted some of the concerns or some of the constraints that the industry faces. Well, LED has a huge potential, and I think we are hardly halfway through into it. Having the consumers having just embraced the product, and we are looking, as a consumer, I can tell you that we look up to many more innovations and many more developments that the product offers. But the concern, obviously, from the industry's end is that we are highly import dependent as far as the components are concerned. Specifically, very critical components on which we are totally dependent upon the imports, and that, as Mr. Garg mentioned in his remarks, that we need to address these. And having the he highlighted of the technology centers and all coming up, and these could be utilized. I think simultaneously towards developing the facilities for manufacturing indigenously, we also come to the question of ensuring that these products what we manufacture are able to give us the quality and the performance that is desirable. Today, as far as sort of regulating or defining the characteristics of products are concerned, we are largely confining ourselves to the safety aspects of the product. And we are not looking into the performance. Though as from BIS end, we have standards in place both for safety and performance, but largely when we are looking at compliance, we are looking at safety. And I think the performance part is something which we need to look into, because the quality of LEDs are a serious concern. And it may be true that a large section of the industry, though may be complying to the requirements, there is other section of the industry which is unable to comply with the requirements or the quality parameters which is desirable. So we need to look into how we are able to bring everyone on board and try to ensure that the standards which have been defined are getting implemented. And I think in that regard, it is the industry and the industry associations that play a very vital role and a critical role in ensuring that the message goes across to all the constituent members and all sections or all sectors of the industry on the need for compliance for the larger benefit of the LED industry in total. There was mention of bringing on board all sections of the industry, and when we talk of bringing on board all sections of the industry, I think there would be need, when we are looking for compliance of products, there would be need of finding out ways, means through which the compliance can be assessed, and we are then looking for testing facilities. One of the usual difficulties that smaller industries or the SMEs face is towards creation of testing facilities for assuring that the products they manufacture are complying with the performance requirements of standards. I think here again, with the support of MSME industry, we can look into creation of common testing facilities for a group of industries or in a cluster of industries. And those facilities can be very effectively utilized by the constituent members for getting their products assessed for compliance. We would be looking into building brands, the India brand, which Mr. Garg had mentioned of the importance of doing that. And I'm 100% sure that without complying with standards and without complying with the Indian standards, we won't be able to build that India brand, India quality brand. And here I think the the need for standards and need for the right standards and for complying to the standards is going to be very vital. So there are two aspects to it. One is defining the standards and then complying with the standards. BIS is always ready to hear to the industry and to the other stakeholders on what are the standardization needs. And we have put in various processes through which possibly the standardization work would get would be done much faster and would be done more efficiently. In fact, we have completely migrated to an online platform where the entire technical committee activities are happening online. So that facilitates both the participation and the delivery of standards. And I think this would go a long way in helping your particular industry to bring in new requirements or new standards which will be necessary as we go along in building various building capacities for manufacturing various components and various inputs that are going into the product. We should also look ahead of what are the technologies that are coming, and we need to prepare towards that. Mr. Garg had made a remark of passing remark regarding the use of internet, LED being used in internet, and he obviously was mentioning of Li-Fi. And I think there is something which is going to be a game changer. And the way we are getting connected these days, I mean, every aspect of our life and every aspect of whatever we are doing has connectivity somewhere involved. And I think LED has a huge future if we are able to if we are able to look into these alternate technology uses of the LED technology. So that again would be a big opportunity for the LED industry. And whatever standardization needs that may arise out of such new technologies, I think we will have to work on those, and you would have the full support of BIS in developing standards as fast as we can. So I feel we'll have to tackle things on two aspects. One, developing indigenous capacity for the various components and the inputs that is going into the product. The other is that ensuring that we have products which are of the right quality and the right performance, and how we go about that, and what way BIS can support that that process. And thirdly, we have to look into what are the future challenges and the future transformation that the industry would go through, and where would BIS play a role in supporting the industry to develop those capacities and capabilities. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your opening words, sir. I think for us, one of the key points which you mentioned was, the need to look at performance as a standard. And I think the whole industry will welcome that. We are committed to that. And I think that's clearly the way to go if you have to compete globally. Just safety will not take us to global standards. We will have to look at performance as a very key standard to adhere to. We will do that, and we will come back to you with more questions, sir. But before that, let me invite Mr. Devnath to address us, share some views, visions of MeitY and what they do for the industry. Yeah, just a couple of words for us, sir. Before, I know you are filling in for someone, and I won't trouble you much. But in case you want to share something, we are very keen to hear you.
Yeah, so as I said that I'm representing MeitY, and I've joined in place of Shri Saurav Gaur, Joint Secretary Electronics. I just want to reiterate one or two new schemes which MeitY has recently launched. MeitY has recently launched 3 schemes. One is the production linked incentive scheme. The second is SPECS, which is a scheme for promotion for manufacturing of electronic components and semiconductors. And the third is EMC 2.0, which is the Electronics Manufacturing Cluster Scheme. Though PLI is more focused on mobile phone and components for mobile phones, whereas I think SPECS scheme is something which covers a certain part of the LEDs as well. So SPECS is one of the schemes which covers the incentive, gives around 25% of capital expenditure which the companies would be spending, and I think this scheme is open now, and you and companies who are over a particular threshold, there are certain thresholds which we can share with all your members here and all the participants. They can take and apply for that. That is something which we are really aggressively promoting these schemes, and the spec scheme is open for the next 3 years, and I'm sure that there would be certain companies who would find some benefits in applying for these schemes. So I would suggest that all your members and all the participants here, or esteemed participants who are attending this, please go through the schemes. Everything is available on the Meety's website, and as a follow-up, I can forward you certain the scheme guidelines and all, and you can share it with your members. And if you have any queries, we can, please feel free to let me know, or anyone in our team to know, and we will sort of try to address these queries. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Well, we are going to have a few questions on this. In fact, a little down the line in this program, Mr. Gautam Malkani will be actually asking. He's been studying these schemes, and we do have some questions with respect to these schemes. So we'll come back to them shortly. But I'm just going to take a short deviation here for the sake of all the delegates who are here, just to help them understand what is LACMA, and what exactly are the opportunities and problems that the industry faces today. I'm just going to share 2 slides, and just give me 1 second, please. I'm just sharing 2 slides. Yeah. Is a slide visible? Yes. Yeah. So, LACMA is an association set up in 2014. It was set up to largely comprised of all MSME manufacturers in the Lighting and Component Manufacturers Association. And it was set up to address the needs and take up issues which are faced by the small sector industries. Okay, we have over 300 active members, and LACMA members together employ over 12,000 people. So we are a serious employer in this country, and I can proudly say that through all these COVID times, the entire industry has held on to its workforce very closely. Cumulatively, these members have a turnover in excess of 2,500 crores, which is more than I think 12.5% of the Indian lighting industry. We span across the entire value chain from in the lighting industry, from finished goods, components, even some test services, and all those things. Purely focused on the interests and development of the lighting industry. Members come from all across the country. Having said that, I want to just have few points about the lighting industry for the sake of delegates, not for the sake of the panelists, not for the sake of the policymakers, of course. Lighting industry in India is predominantly from the MSME. It was reserved for the MSME sector all the way from 1960s up to early 2000s. In 2003 or 4, I think the sector was opened up for large manufacturers with the expectation that a lot of investment would happen. Currently, last 10 years, we have seen a sea change. Technology is changing every day, and that is one of the big challenges that a small-scale sector faces. To be able to live up to such a significant change, which happens practically every 6 months. So that is something which the industry has been facing. And amidst this whole transition from being a reserved industry to an open industry, the industry also saw the influx of very serious competition from low-cost imports. That, coupled with a lot of issues, turned a lot of manufacturers into traders, because it became more profitable or more easy to trade rather than manufacture. But I think the trend is changing. There are a lot of serious manufacturers in India, and a lot of people want to take benefit of the situation, and who want to go forward. So, having said that, sir, we are going to start with some of the problems which we face, and I'm handing it over to my colleague, Mr. Ritesh Gupta. Ritesh is a management graduate, and he spent over 14 years in this industry. He has 2 large manufacturing plants, and they do their own brands, and they do also do co-manufacturing for others. Extremely experienced. He's a second generation entrepreneur, and he's going to take over the next issues. So over to you, Hitesh.
Thank you, Vishwajit. Appreciate the introduction and welcome. Thank you all the delegates, Mr. Garg, Mr. Chaudhary, and Mr. Devnath for your kind words and your plans for the industry. From the macro level, I want to bring it down to slightly a micro level, which is hurting us on a day-to-day basis. One of the things that we've seen in the implementation of GST is that the industry is facing a restructure. Our RMs, a primary component, are all 18% at input duty, but the finished goods are, because it's an LED, is at 12% output. Due to which a lot of our money is getting stuck in GST returns. As we said, LACMA, we just did a small survey within the LACMA members. In that, we have found that only the LACMA members put together, on 300 members, we have about 25 crores stuck with the government for GST refunds. So that you can imagine for small organizations like us, is a big working capital hit, where our money is stuck with the government, interest free, but at the same time, to run our plants, we are taking working capital loans from paying interest on that just to run our plants. So we were trying to see how we can resolve this issue. In fact, now we have been in 3 years, 4 years of GST implementation, and yet there are some cases of VAT refunds still pending with the government. So these are all.
What is your suggestion on this? What is your suggestion? How do we resolve this issue?
Sir, we had a suggestion that as we have a fixed date of filing our GST return, why don't we have a fixed date of filing of refund from the government? Because this is not the industry's fault. It's a structure. Nobody's cheating the government. Nobody's doing a scam.
So right now, this money which you're saying 24 crore, 25 crore.
Yeah.
For how much time?
This will be close to a couple of years, if I'm not wrong. Gautam?
Couple of years?
Yeah.
This is about 2 years now.
Oh.
So on an average, around 2.5 crore credit lies unclaimed every month, and this starts getting accumulated. And this is the amount which is lying in the credit.
What are the raw material which are attracting 18%? Like?
The basic metals.
Metals, plastics, all components, they are at 18%. And the finished goods, we charge 12%.
Okay. Right.
Another point, if you see down there, VAT assessments of even 15-16 are still pending. So we've had such a long tenure of GST, but even VAT assessments are not complete. So there's a lot of money stuck, which is capital which can be used and invested to grow the business.
And for a small company like us, it's a big hit in the interest cost, because
I appreciate it.
And this is not nobody's fault. We are not blaming the government or anything, but it's just that because the GST structure that has been defined, our industry is facing an inverted duty structure, where input credit is higher than output cost to be paid to the government.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is one area where we definitely need your support, sir. And I know that the MSME ministry can drive this support for us. Yeah. So any advice to us on how we should go about and what is your advice for us in this area?
So please write a specific letter to us.
Okay.
Saying that these are the issues and how it is affecting your competitiveness, businesses, and what are the specific solutions that you have, which can be implemented by the GST management.
All right, we definitely do that.
I think we would like to work in this area and then try to sort it out. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
much. Next question, I'm handing over to Mr. Gautam Malkani. Mr. Malkani is the managing director of Fulham India, and he's a serious manufacturer. I mean, all the schemes that Mighty is talking about, or he's one who definitely like to work in them, to take benefit from them, and to do more and more manufacturing. He's a chartered accountant, so he knows the details of the business pretty well. His business have been involved in large workspaces, in outdoor lighting and stuff. He has Fulham India, and they are serious manufacturers of power supplies, LED power supplies, very high quality power supplies. So over to you, Gautamji.
Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit, for the kind introduction. And thank you all the panelists for your detailed explanation on what all schemes are available with us. See, today I would like to start off with one of the latest schemes that the government recently launched on 29 June. Vishwajit, if you could take the slide ahead, we could show it on the screen. Yeah, so Mr. Devnath was mentioning regarding the EMC 2.0. Now, this has come at a very critical junction today in the industry. See, LACMA for a very long time was trying to use the cluster scheme to form an area where a lot of the ancillary lighting manufacturing industries can come together and create a cluster of its own. In fact, for almost 2.5 years, we were trying to work on a cluster scheme and get it done for our industry through the association. But we faced many impediments. Later on, when we went through this modified electronic manufacturing cluster scheme, which has now come up for the electronic sector, so this has got all the ingredients which we have been looking for our association members as well. Excepting that what we understand from this scheme is that this is purely related to companies which are involved in the manufacturing of electronic components. Now, what we were trying to put forth is that the lighting industry, which if you would have seen 10 years back, was more of an electrical and a mechanical industry, has transformed now into an electronic industry. Today, if you just look at our bill of materials, 70% of the components of the bill of material are related to electronics. So today we can say that, in lighting, you have more than 70% of the BOM, which is coming purely through something related to electronics. But at the same time, the EMC cluster schemes are keeping lighting out of this portfolio. So our request was that if we are able to work together with MeitY for the association members in lighting and participate in this EMC scheme, where various kind of ancillary manufacturing facilities, it could be pressure die casting, it could be toolings, it could be wire harness, lenses, PCBs, electronic components, all inside one hub. So it helps to improve the supply chain drastically, which is the need of the time. Looking at the current scenario of what COVID has left us in, it's going to take a long period of time before the supply chain stabilizes. During such situations, if the industry as an association, as a cluster, when most of the industries are operating within a particular area and band, it definitely improves the productivity as well as the smoothens the entire manufacturing process. So my sincere request was, Mr. Devnath, to MeitY is that regarding this EMC, to see how the lighting, the LED lighting business per se, can participate in this EMC cluster scheme, because that would help us to, in a way, organize and bring up our entire capabilities and improve the supply chains as well for the industry.
Mr. Malkani, thank you so much. I have definitely noted your point, and I would forward these, and I would have a discussion with the team who are looking after the EMC 2.0 scheme, and along with a joint secretary. And I'm sure that I would get back to you with the what MeitY has to in the response of MeitY. Just to reiterate that. The EMC 2.0 is aimed at attracting anchor companies. So we want a big company which would come and set up their presence in a particular area. And also then the supply chain of which is serving to that company would sort of come and start their operations around that. So that is the main idea with why this scheme has been brought, that to attract anchor companies and their supply chain. And for LED companies, if there is any company who would want to have this kind of a setup, I'm sure we would discuss this internally, and I will or someone from MeitY would definitely get in touch with you.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Mr. Devnath. In fact, like you said, that you're looking for the large companies to be investing into the cluster. Now, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, in the lighting, in the LED lighting space, till now there is no company in India which is manufacturing the LED chip. It is all, as you know, we are all dependent on imports for that. So that is something which would give a big impetus if we are able to get some LED chip manufacturer to come in and form a part of this EMC. And in that case, if we are all able to then associate it with that, then you have your luminaire assembly manufacturers, you have your tooling guys, you have your plastic molding guys, you have your PTC guys coming in, and then it's able to create an entire infrastructure where all people can participate, and then build a structure which can be used not only for domestic but even for the export opportunities which are available. So we would definitely want to work very closely with MeitY to see how lighting can become a part of this EMC. Thank you.
Yeah, and just to also put something in context which I missed earlier, that currently we see over 5,000 crores of imports into the country every year. So the opportunity which is there, I mean, is massive. So definitely, we would like you to look at that. With that, I would like to move on. I think for some reason I lost my. I'm not able to share my screen again. Can the ICC members just help me out on this? Yeah, back again. All right. So one more question, which also was briefly, I think, spoken about, but I think Malkani would like to elaborate on that further.
Yeah, thank you, Vishwajit. This was more related to the MSME benefits, and to Mr. Garg, I would like to have this discussion. See, in India currently, we are the second largest workforce worldwide. We are also the second largest producer of steel, coal, cement, and also in the manufacturing sector, we are currently the fourth largest manufacturers for auto. But when we look at the rest of the manufacturing segments, our global index stands at number 30. So the main reason for this is being the basic infrastructure availability today in the country in terms of the factory premises available, the roads, electricity, water connections. These all become a very big challenge for us in the MSME industry. In fact, today in the MSME industry, if somebody needs to put up a new plant, by the time he is able to identify the land, get the permissions, build the factory, and create all the infrastructure around it, it is almost about 18 to 24 months. And by that time, a huge amount of capital is already invested. And all these become deterrent for the MSME to scale up. What happens is during that time, then they prefer to remain in a very small scale and small capacity and then continue working in those regions. The minute they are trying to scale up, there are many challenges that we face. Primarily, the infrastructure becomes the biggest challenge. Mm-hmm. Second is the investments. Now in land, building, and the factory shed. This consumes almost 60 to 70% of the capital that is available with the MSME. Now, one option which we earlier discussed was like, for example, you have a cluster where you can participate. But what the MSME is actually looking for is at the time when they are going into the market to establish their new setup, what are the capital subsidies that are available to them to upgrade their machineries, to invest in better manufacturing facilities so that we become more capable to manufacture higher quality products for the domestic market as well as for the export markets. So this is one area where you can help us out, sir.
So there is one scheme called CLCSS, so in which we provide 15% capital subsidy on machinery and plant, and this is irrespective of any machinery. You can buy any machinery to upgrade your facility, and under this scheme 50% subsidy is available, CLCSS.
That is subject to maximum of 15 lakhs, if I am not mistaken.
No. The subsidy amount is 15 lakh rupees. So the machinery can go up to 1 crore rupee.
Correct. The subsidy value is limited to 15 lakhs.
That's right. Yeah.
Sir, in case of
Another solution I can offer you is this, that now there's another scheme called Industrial Development Scheme, in which what can be done is a group of industry can join hands, they can acquire a land, and after getting all the necessary clearance from the state government, for development of that industrial place, industrial area, we can provide funding up to rupees 10 crores.
okay.
So this scheme is called ID scheme, Industrial Estate, Industrial Development Scheme.
So development
join hands, they buy an agriculture land, they take necessary approval from the state government for converting into agriculture to industrial applications, and for making roads, drainage, lighting, development of the complete industrial estate, you can take help of the scheme.
And this would be applicable in any area?
Yeah, across the country. It's across the country.
Okay.
And third, I would invite you to take the help of the lean manufacturing practices, which I'm pretty sure that will be able to improve your productivity easily by 50%. So what I'm trying to say is that in the same space in which you are today, you can easily scale up your production by 50% easily with the same facility. So I really don't know that how many of you have taken the benefit of the lean manufacturing practices, but I can share a story. When I went to Bangalore and met an electronics industry there, and this industry adopted the lean practices. This was a young man of around 10 to 12 years experience. And then he said, sir, when I was given this opportunity to take the benefit of lean, I thought this is not a practice for the electronics industry. This is mainly for the mechanical manufacturing plants. And he said, I was surprised very quickly in 3 months how it is shaping up my industry, how it is changing my people. So with that kind of thing, he totally adopted the scheme of lean. And he says that so much of benefit has come to his industry, output has grown, people have started thinking differently, their mindset has changed, they are now become growth-oriented mindset and things like that. So, and his cost has come down. He was exporting a lot of items to Japan. So his exportability grew. So these kind of things happen when you adopt the lean practices. So one more thing which I would like to emphasize, which Mr. Roy Choudhury touched upon, about the testing facility. So the Ministry of MSME has around a number of testing centers across the country, one in Kolkata as well. And we are planning to infuse around 500 crores in due course of time in these testing facilities. In the current year, we are going to put in around 50 crore rupees for building testing capabilities in this testing centers. So specifically for LED, we are putting up facilities in Mumbai and also a bit of it in Kolkata. So, but if you want anything extra on that, we can do that. Not an issue. So that's all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your insightful statements. Lean also, that would be definitely helping us to economize on our production systems as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the Ministry of MSME provide 80% subsidy for adoption of lean by the MSMEs. 80% subsidy. The individual cost comes around 2 to 3 lakh rupees. For a cluster of 10 industries, the costing is around 30 lakh rupees. So around each industry pays around 40,000 rupees, that's all.
Okay.
This amount is paid by the government.
Yeah, I did read about that scheme. We do intend to take benefit of that. I think the website is a beautiful website. It does give a lot of information. And some of our questions are also based upon what information you've already provided.
Okay.
I think one of the challenges you mentioned something about the industrial development scheme. I think one of the challenges which everybody, I mean, particularly MSME sector is going to face is the acquisition of land. That's certainly going to be extremely difficult for any of the members of LACMA to delve into. So, does the ministry have any plans to help us on those lines?
So that's what I'm saying, that every state government has a policy to convert agriculture land into industrial application lands. Okay. So the industry can join together, buy the industrial land, and apply for the conversion. So that is one process available right now. But for that, right now we do not have any other schemes, but we can start a dialogue with the state governments how to sort out this issue, because this is a big issue, I know, and this is one of the big challenge. So we can certainly start a dialogue with the state governments also, and in due course of time we can work on that.
Yeah, that's something which will certainly help us. I mean, this would go a very long way in strengthening the industry. Thank you so much, sir. To ask the next question, I'm going to invite Mr. Kaushik Gandhi. He is the director of Shakti Fixtures. They have been in the industry for a long time. He's a chartered accountant by education, and they do a lot of production manufacturing of lighting fixtures under their own brand, and they also do a lot of customization. So they're a very specialized lighting company. Over to you. Are you there?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, thank you very much, Vishwajit.
Yeah.
And thank you, dignitaries, and especially Garg sir, for addressing the issues like this. Thank you so much for these insights. So basically, when we look at the BIS, I wanted to direct this discussion to Roy Chaudhary sir about BIS in particular. So if we just go through the background, LACMA has contributed to BIS in excess of almost 5 crores as BIS fees. And what happens is this industry, as it is, the MSMEs are mainly the manufacturers of the entire lighting luminaires and these products across. Also, for the bigger brands, the larger brands, the known brands, they also get their manufacturing done or outsourced through these MSME units. So what happens is for a particular MSME unit, the contribution of manufacturing for particular brands, the larger known brands, is almost higher, much higher rather, than the people who manufacture for their own brands, because many of the units, rather most of the MSME units, especially within our members, they manufacture and sell in their own brands, which are very small in turnover. The contribution of sales especially for BIS is mainly by the bigger brands. So the MSME manufactures for them. Now, as far as the BIS charges are concerned, they are uniform across. I mean, there is not much, differentiation at all. Whatever fees are applicable to a MSME are also applicable to the bigger brands. So this rationalization we were looking at, especially if we also see that the product life cycle, the LED industry is ongoingly developing with newer products, newer innovations, newer designs, even with a slight change in design or slight change in component, the life cycle of that product is shortened. On an average, what we discuss or what we've gained as an experience in the business is the product life cycle is very short, typically between 6 to 9 months. So the overall cost of the BIS, if we calculate with respect to the product life cycle, it is substantially high. What we request is, of course, government has so many schemes, as Garg sir and Roy Chaudhary sir also suggested earlier. So what we have a suggestion of which we propose is that the subsidy scheme or the for all certification and testing charges, that scheme is already running in place. So why not we merge for all those MSME units doing their own brands and MSME registered brands who do it for themselves, be merged within that 75% subsidy schemes that are already in place. So that was one thing. Now, another is with regards to implementation of the BIS, as Roy Chaudhary sir already mentioned earlier that they are doing their bit. In fact, they are doing a lot about it. We want is the geographical reach of BIS to be expanded region-wise. As you already suggested that you are opening up a center in Mumbai, but not only Mumbai, across areas, across regions, we request that BIS should expand their reach so that more and more manufacturers are at least incentivized. They are incentivized to get their products certified Otherwise, with this low product life cycle and higher cost, it becomes a complete disincentive for the manufacturers to even go for BIS. So this concern, we would really like Rohit Chaudhary sir to look at, sir. Now, including, I just wanted to add one point, sir. The renewal charges for BIS. Now, each and every time a BIS is obtained, the renewal occurs every 1.5, every 2 years. So that cost is also escalating. So if you could just address this, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your queries and issues that you have raised. Could you just clarify, are you talking of LED alone, or you are talking of other products also?
So as of now, we are talking about the LED lighting industry.
So now, as far as LED is concerned, LED is covered under the BIS registration scheme.
Right, sir.
Right. So for the registration scheme, our charges are, I think, 50,000 for a period of 2 years.
Right, sir.
Right. And for the MSME, there is a 20% discount.
Right,
I hope
sir.
you are aware of that.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. There is.
And this charge is irrespective of the volume of production which is happening, which is unlike the case of other certification where there is a unit rate attached to a product. So the more you manufacture, the more you have to pay the charges. Here, since the charges are very reasonable, it has been kept at the same for across all production levels. Okay, so there is no differentiation. If you are manufacturing more, it is not that you are paying more. Okay, so that point is there. You have asked for a further reduction in this in the charges, particularly for the MSMEs. So see, the BIS policies are uniform across all products for all MSMEs. So the 20% charge which is applicable for registration for LED is also applicable for any other product, irrespective of what the product is and what the certification scheme is. It could be registration, it could be our normal product certification. So the MSME concessions are 20%.
Sir, here I would like to address one thing. What happens is typically with our industry, a particular series of product, at the most we can add, let's say 20 products in a series. So if we go by the variety of the products, we would have at least 17 or 18 different types of varieties, including street lighting, flood lighting, facade lighting, area lighting. You know, indoor lighting is completely separate, suspended lighting is separate. So with a manufacturer who is looking at, you know, let's say only indoor lighting or let's say only outdoor lighting, he would still have a huge bucket of products manufacturing either for himself in his brand, or he would also do it for other brands or the larger brands. Now, what we were proposing is, sir, what we were saying is that the entire cost taken together for any manufacturer, for all these products taken together, would be substantially higher, even if the fees are kept at the rates that you mentioned. Unlike other industry, this is a peculiar problem with our industry, sir. So that is what we wanted you to address, sir.
So I get your point. You are mentioning of the additional varieties that you have to include because of the typical nature of the products.
Right.
So for each of the additional varieties, you have to do additional testing, and then for that you have to pay additional charges to BIS for getting those assessed. So I think you can make a representation. This can be looked into. I mean, if not the main fee component, the charges against additional varieties which are to be included in your scope, those charges can be looked into. I think you can make a representation on this.
We surely will. And sir, Rohit Chaudhary sir, why particularly we call it as BIS, but it also involves a lot of testing charges, other charges, the consultant charges. So in effect, the entire cost BIS plus other charges is a huge figure. That is why we were addressing this.
So this particular the issue of inclusion of series and all, so this has to be discussed along with MeitY, because they are the regulators, and the series descriptions I think are defined by them. So possibly both of us have to sit and to find out if this can be further rationalized for the benefit of the industry. So you please make a representation. You can make a representation with regard to the series issue with MeitY also, I suppose, if MeitY agrees. So then we can, I mean, both the organizations can then sit and try to find out if something can be worked out on this. This can definitely be looked into from our end.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you help us with the route for this representation in terms of who are the right people to contact? Because this is a very serious issue for us, you know. I mean, for people, as we mentioned, the product life cycles are very low. Even if you see, you know, we mentioned earlier that the lumen output per, you know, is going up continuously. As a result, the components change very frequently. So every year, a new series is launched by the LED chip manufacturers. So this calls for recertification. New codes come in. You know, this makes it an exhausting affair for a small company. It's much more easier for large brands, and particularly a lot of large brands who are actually sourcing from China, who, you know, because of their volumes, it is very easy for them to afford this kind of costing. But for a small Indian brand which is trying to set up its own brand and, you know, make a name for an Indian name, this becomes a very, very difficult challenge. So, who are the right people to make this representation in order to solve this problem? Because this is one of the big. We are very much on with BIS. We are, and I think we would like to go the performance way as well, not just safety. But having said that, the industry peculiarity is that the very rapid change in the components, which does not, allow us to, even those 2 years, keep the same model. So this is where we need help.
So I think being the regulator, I think it would be MeitY would be the right place to make this representation. But you can still make the representation to BIS if you feel. We can also take it up with MeitY separately. So, but from your end, I think you should approach MeitY first. If Mr. Debnath would like to add on this.
No, I think like you can definitely write to Joint Secretary Saurav Gaur. He would be the right person. You can send a letter and your representation, and that would be taken care of.
Fantastic. I think we will definitely take that route. And I think with the current mood that the whole nation is in, we are very confident of support. Which leads me to the next question from Kaushik. You're on with the next question.
Yeah. Sir, this is in particular addressed to Sudhir Garg, sir. This is with regard to, sir, basically the technical assistance. Technical and tooling assistance. So, considering this, that the government is in for the Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India campaign, manufacture in India, and the Made in India brand, as you rightly pointed out, sir. So, what we as an industry have been facing and looking for is a solid technical assistance by the government in terms of establishing a number of testing laboratories across India, widespread. Now, what is happening is, again, there is a huge disincentive for the MSMEs. In spite of, the MSME lighting industry having abundant talent, there is some kind of discouragement in terms of, getting the products tested to the extent.
If you can tell me the specific area where do you want the testing to be done, because we already set up one facility in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, but you tell me which are the areas are deficient. We can certainly put up those facilities, not an issue. And secondly, tooling assistance, we have almost 18 tool rooms earlier. 15 new have become operational, each with an investment of around 150 crores. And 20 more large institutes are coming up in next 2 to 3 years. Okay. So, like Kolkata also have a one tooling center there, which can design, which can provide all kind of injection molding, pressure die, casting, sheet metal fabrication. All those facilities are available there, and you can approach to the tool room technology center there in Kolkata. And if you have any issues, please let me know.
Sir, we were also looking at how about utilizing, because there are a lot of existing engineering colleges across Maharashtra. Now, within Maharashtra, it is always not feasible to reach only Mumbai. So, within Maharashtra also, we have clusters which are at various places: Pune, Vasai, Daman. So, these are all considering Mumbai as a hub to approach for technical as well as these assistants. If we can utilize, or the MSME ministry along with, the tie-up with engineering colleges, whether government or private, because they definitely have set up good laboratory equipments, which we would, many of the members here have personally checked also, and very good equipments they have. So if MSME could do some kind of tie-up with them, so that, you know, it's a win-win situation for both. The students will get access to industry.
We have done is that,
Yes, sir.
we have if you go to the MSME Ministry website and
Yes,
on
sir.
the testing center's website, then
Yes, sir.
there is facility available on which you can send things by post.
Okay. Okay.
So various laboratories, you can click laboratory, you can send your equipment by post, and they will send you the testing results by mail within a specific duration of time.
Okay. Okay.
So those things we have been able to take care of that. So NSIC and the testing centers of the Ministry of MSME, which together I think around 25 or 30 centers are there, which are already available across the country. But you want any specific area where the deficiency is there, we can certainly set up one more facility.
Surely, sir. Thank you. Thank you for considering that.
Specific for lighting is the volumeter, photo testing and all. That is becoming a big
Yeah, that
concern.
is available now in Mumbai, already set up.
Okay.
Recently got it.
Okay. So that is at ERPN center, sir?
Sorry?
Is that at the ERPN center in Mumbai?
This is the Ministry of MSME Center.
Okay.
At the Sakinaka Center. Okay, sir.
Sakinaka.
Electronic digital testing laboratory.
Yeah, yeah. RTC.
Right, and look for the testing centers and all the facilities now available. What tests they can do, they will give a quotation to you also. If you ask that these additional tests you want to do, they will give a quotation immediately.
Okay. Okay.
Because we conducted a large number of meetings with the industry in each sector, and whatever industry said these are the facilities they want, we just decided to set up that. So money is not an issue. You ask for it and we'll give it.
Okay. Thank you so much for that confidence, sir.
I think we need to be visiting the MSME website more frequently than we are.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Very clearly from this is we are visiting the website enough.
Yeah.
We admit that, and every one of us will make it a point to visit your website more often.
Yes.
I think a lot of confidence in today's discussion, which brings me to one more point, which is related to capability. And I'm handing it over to Ritesh to pose the next question with respect to capability. Over to you, Ritesh.
Sir, just to take it forward and to continue the discussion that Gautam and Kaushik actually alluded to, where the change of the industry, the lighting industry has changed from a mechanical workshop, electrical workshop into an electronic industry. So now our workforce also has to change along with it. The skill sets that were required earlier are still required, but to a much smaller extent. But there's a much larger extent required for electronics understanding, which is missing in the current workforce that we have. When we try to talk to the local ITIs, we don't find that skill set available there as well. So that is also missing. There is a gap there. So that's the reason why we wanted to get into, if we can get, and we know that this big Skill India initiative of the government of India. So if there is some way that we can connect with Skill India initiative of the government and give them our specific requirements and get our workforce trained in the manner that we want. That will help us make quality products consistently and repeatedly, which helps us to become export oriented as well.
Yeah, so these technology centers about which I was talking,
yes,
we are skilling around 4 lakh people annually, and you will be happy to know that around 60% people get the job immediately. This skilling involved in the highly specialized areas. So in Kolkata, we have the facility, and in various small districts also we have facility now. 153 centers are coming up. Out of that, already around 50 centers already in place and functional. So if you want any specific trainings to be done, please tell us what skilling you want and which place you want. We will tie up that thing.
Okay.
Obviously, there will be some charges on that.
Of course.
We can do the types on that.
Okay. Oh, great, sir. Thank you so much.
Very heartening, sir. These were the 6 main questions we wanted to ask, and I think you have given us very, very good, encouraging responses on all of these. Also, would like to add one more point which came up earlier about branding and marketing. So, in fact, ICC did put up an exhibition last year in Netherlands, and both me and Ritesh, we did participate. So, any more such initiatives being planned where we would. I mean, we are keen not just to sell in India, we are also keen to sell overseas. We want to build brand overseas. So what is it that the MSME ministry or, I don't know, ICC will probably have to help us in this. They did help us last time. But what can we look forward to in terms of accessing international markets?
So there's a marketing assistance scheme, MAS.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Marketing assistance scheme. So under that scheme, we provide assistance for participation in the international fairs.
Okay.
So there's a list of fairs available on that, but we can add to specific fairs. So if the lighting industry particularly wants participation in specific fairs, then you can write to us that we want to visit this fair. Then we can add that fair also in the list of the fairs that we have.
Sir, in this point, I would like to mention, this is for the physical events. So can we get the funding for the digital platform, digital exhibition, sir? Because many people and Ministry of Commerce is also has asked us to organize some digital exhibitions on digital platforms, sir.
Yeah, so this is
There-
this is a new thing which has happened.
Right,
So
sir.
I think if you write to us, we'll be able to do something.
Okay, sir. So we will identify some of the international fairs which is happening on digital platform.
Yes.
So we can approach ministry to
Yes.
give us the funding, and we can invite the exhibitors from LACMA. They can participate, and we can organize the B2B for that. Okay,
So
sir.
a wonderful VR platform should be created. I think there's a good.
Yes. There are a lot of companies who are providing this, virtual exhibitions, and it looks like absolutely, 4D designs they are making. So it's like all the physical exhibitions.
Yeah, I'll be happy to have some links of some of the companies.
Yes,
So
sure, sir.
we'll also talk to them, and then we'll.
Sure,
in my
sir.
other areas also, I can use their facility.
Sure, sir. So then we would like to work under your guidance and also support from your.
Yes, we will do it immediately. Not an issue. Just we can do it immediately.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I stopped sharing my screen. We just want to check quickly if there are any questions from participants. Can you check? I mean, I'm not able to see those questions. If any participants have any questions. Yeah, Mr. Akshay is asking, please share the information of skill development in LED lighting. I think that was already answered. Yeah. So, right. So, anything else you want to add which we have missed out asking you, which you wanted to share, which you were hoping we would ask, but we did not?
Well, I think I had covered most of the points, and yes, I think I had covered most of the points.
All right. Mr. Roy Chaudhary, sir, would you like to add something to us which we missed out before, or have we lost him?
No, I'm there.
Yes, sorry.
Just to come back to the question of capacity building and training requirements, if you have any training requirements specific to testing, we can obviously support that. We have a training institute, and we have recently launched an online portal, training portal on our website. You can access the portal and you can give your request for specific trainings. So we can arrange such trainings. We can arrange trainings in collaboration with some of the testing laboratories also. So that is one thing I wanted to mention.
Fantastic. Okay. Mr. Devnath, would you like to add something, sir?
I just think that I would say that for the schemes which Mr. Malkani said, I think you can send a letter to Mr. Saurav Gaur, Joint Secretary, and then we'll take it forward from there. Like if LACMA and ICC, they can write the letter and send it to us, we will take it up with the right people and discuss this and then get back to you.
All right. Gautamji, Hitesh, Kaushik, anything?
Vishwaji, there are some several Q&As have come on the Q&A questionnaire. Would you like to read them out, or should I read them out?
I'm not able to see them. Yeah, that's what I'm not able to see those questions. Can you just read out?
Yeah, so there is Mr. DVRS Shastri. He has raised the question, MeitY along with BIS has created wonderful LED luminaire specifications through ESL, but the quality took a bit of backseat on account of price points. Kindly address this to deliver the quality for honoring the longer warranties.
Okay.
So I think in our discussions, we have highlighted the need for addressing performance. And I think that is what is being intended when quality is being mentioned. So standards are in place. Now it is for the industry to adopt. And obviously, along with MeitY or with any other ministries concerned, it can be worked out whether there is a need for enforcing these standards. So that is something else which can be considered, and that is for the industry to think of.
Okay.
Thank you. And then the next question is from Mr. Amit Parekh. Can we have an area earmarked by MSME where the government can build up all the infrastructure?
Yeah.
So in fact, whatever the industrial areas which state governments are developing, they have already small plots, and MSMEs are normally given preference in some of the areas. And whatever industrial estate which the state government develops, almost 60% space is earmarked for the MSMEs. So that is already happening.
Okay.
The next question is from Mr. Vivek Kumar. How is MSME helping companies for international market? Is there any scheme which helps in exports?
I think that question got answered a few minutes ago. Yeah, I think that question already got answered. They are already having schemes, so we need to visit the website more often and approach them for all the help. Yeah. Mr. Chetan Agarwal mentioned that the surveillance fees is huge for BIS. Can something be done for the same? This is a question for Mr. Roy Choudhury, sir.
I don't understand what is being meant by surveillance fees, because as far as LED is concerned and it is under the compulsory registration scheme, there is no surveillance involved in this.
There is, sir. They are now having annual audit where they are collecting samples from the field, and the company has to pay the fees for that.
But who is collecting the samples?
BIS has appointed, either MeitY or BIS has appointed the agency. The agency collects the sample and they are all debiting those expenses to the brand owners.
So, to my knowledge, I think it is MeitY which does the surveillance.
Would Mr. Devnath like to answer?
I can get this checked. I take the point. I can get this checked. But yeah, I can get this checked.
All right. Thank you, sir. The next question is for Mr. Rakesh Vyas. Is there any way that the LED luminaires required by POCs be supplied by MSMEs only and not by importing from China?
So the PSUs have already been, as a procurement policy, we already increased the amount which to be bought from the MSMEs. It has gone around 24%. So it is already covered. Many items are covered in that. So it may not be possible to cover only LED items for PSU. But yes, if we work together, then I think we'll be able to compete better. And there's a very classic case of Faridabad, where 20 apparel industry joined hands, and how they were able to bring down the cost substantially and improve their businesses hugely. So initially they thought that they'll be competitors with each other, but later they realized that there's a lot of synergy among each other, and they were able to bring down their cost hugely. So I think joining hands, and then you'll be able to compete.
Yeah, I think that's a very valuable piece of advice. Collaboration more rather than competition.
Yeah.
I think we all need to take it very seriously. I think probably the last question that we will ask now is, I think a mention was made about Li-Fi. So what Saubhagya Mahajan wants to know is how can we go ahead on Li-Fi technology, and are there any government R&D or testing centers that have been planned or put up which will help manufacturers in that direction? So I don't know whether it's Mighty who will answer this, or I don't know who to pose this question to.
So what you do is that CSI laboratories, one in Pilani.
Okay.
So you can talk to them, CSI laboratory, and you can shoot a question to them also, CSI Pilani. Possibly they are working in this area. But I think BI, I don't know much about it.
All right.
I can definitely find out and let you know.
We look forward to that, sir. So I think you have given us a lot more than we bargained for, honestly. Be thankful for spending so much time. It gives us a lot of confidence that, you know, 3 ministries or 3 key policy makers come together and decide to help one industry. I think it's a very, very gratifying moment. On that note, I would like to say very heartfelt thanks to each one of you. You keep on looking forward to your guidance. You keep on visiting your website to see cues which you are giving for us. And I think we will work hard towards an Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Yeah.
I would like to say. Over to you, ICC team. Thank you very much for this fantastic event, and thank you so much that you brought on such important and, you know, such forward-looking people to address to our concerns.
Our pleasure, our pleasure. And also on behalf of Indian Chamber of Commerce, sir, I thank all of you for your time and for your excellent deliberations. And we are thankful to LACMA. And sir, we will today's thing we have noted down, and also recording has been done. We will prepare a report, small report on this today's discussions along with LACMA. And sir, we will submit to you formally. And also, if any letters are required to be submitted to the relevant authorities, sir, we will send you that to all 3 authorities. Thank you, sir. Thanks for all your support and help, sir.
Thank you so much.
And it was a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.